Good morning, people. Thinking out loud. Um, Black on black crime. So, with the violence that has happened recently in places like Chicago, Atlanta, Houston, other areas, it's got me thinking. Why is it that when black people, whether it be an adult or a child, is killed and it's not at the hands of a corrupt police officer, we automatically assume it's black on black crime? We make that assumption even before police release the name of or identity of a suspect. So, with the current, I'll use Atlanta for example. The kids that were shot in Atlanta. I'm seeing a lot of stuff on social media saying, we must address black on black crime. Um, yes, we must address that. But who says that that was black on black crime? We've made that assumption. But what makes this even worse is we've made that assumption knowing that it's probably true. Now let's back up. Now that we've made that assumption that it's black on black crime, what are the police officers most likely to look for when they're looking for a suspect? They're most likely to look for a black person, because society has painted the picture that a black person committed this crime. Um, and if they find a suspect, they'll probably find a black person, and whether or not that person is innocent or guilty, they get tagged with committing that murder. Um, so I think we need to take a step back, and instead of self-labeling these as black on black crime, let's let the police do what they're supposed to do and find out who did it. Does that mean that they won't find a black person? No, not at all. Um, does that mean a black person didn't do it? Not at all. But what that means is, I think we need to stop rushing to judgment on who's committing these acts, and let the investigative process play out to determine who in fact committed these acts. Um, all that being said, there is a problem with black on black crime, mostly in impoverished black communities. I don't understand why. I don't understand how. And I do understand that it's something that needs to be addressed. Um, Police can't fix that. What the police do is they go in and they make arrests based on the based on committing crimes. They uphold the law based on crimes that have been committed. Um, but what fixes that is the people in our communities, the leaders in our communities, the perpetrators making the waking up in that morning, making the decision to do what's right instead of do what's wrong. Um, to not decide to try to take someone's life or to take someone's life because they felt disrespected. Um, so I know some people, some of the people that I associate with are in those communities and that have been on that side of wrong and are now in the communities trying to help right that ship. I know one particular individual down in Columbus. He's done his time in jail, and he's a completely different person than the person I grew up with. Is he still connected to those communities? Most definitely. But he's connected to them in a different way now. He's connected to them in a way that tells these younger individuals that this is not the path you want to go down. This is not the way you want to live. This is where going down this path is going to take you. But he's only one individual that I can personally name that is doing that. There may be many, but he's the only one that I know of. Norman Quarles down in Columbus, Georgia, has a nonprofit organization called Impacting Generations. And he's really making a difference in young men's life down there. But he's one person trying to impact many. He needs help. He's one person in one small town. We need everybody else to step up and do the same. So I leave y'all with this thought today. Don't rush to judgment. Don't automatically assume. Let the systems play out and find out what's wrong. Find out who the blame is. And make sure that that person or those people are held accountable. Let's start trying to paint a positive picture of black communities instead of the consistent negative picture of black on black crime. Y'all have a blessed day. Much love and respect. Make progress, not excuses.